Okay, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Shah. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'm going to be discussing The Little Mermaid and a couple other shows and movies that I've watched and I wanted to talk about. So, I wanted to start with The Little Mermaid, which is the retelling of the 1989 animated movie, The Little Mermaid. And I'm going to say it, this was actually one of the better Disney remakes. I'm not a huge fan of reboots for the most part or retellings. So for the most part, they're usually just cash grabs or they're trying to add some type of fucking ridiculous politics into it or quote unquote change it for a modern audience. Cool, whatnot. This movie, I will go see again. I don't mind going back to the movie theater to watch this again. And I got to see it in theaters, but I watched it in 4D, which made the experience a bit more entertaining for me. I have to say, Haley Bailey is is the perfect casting choice for this. I've known her because of her music. I've listened to a few of her songs. I listened to her sister Chloe and stuff like that too. And I love to see singers, especially when they have this talent for acting, get great roles. And Haley Bailey was the perfect choice for this. There's this, there's there a moment in part of your world where she goes up a couple octaves and then she takes like this breath and I got shivers, like goosebumps in the theater, not because of the wind and the water sprinkling on me or whatnot. It was literally goosebumps from the music, and it was just so fucking touching. And what I also liked about it was that Prince Eric got a bit more fleshed out. We got to see who he was a little bit more as a person. He's not just like the Disney prince that just wants some Disney poon, which I thought was actually pretty dope. And his vocals actually pretty amazing too. David Diggs as Sebastian did so much justice to the character. I want to say it like that. Like the character was like said it stayed true. Like the music was actually one of my favorite parts of it, especially with his rendition of Under the Sea, and you're adding you know, Chloe Bailey with the ad libs and the singing in the background was perfect. The they had like more realistic animals in that scene, and like I said, that's the only like part I really like, just not really took me out, but was like, okay, like I wouldn't have mind a little less and throw for I would have mind a little more exaggerated animals in an animated style. Um, don't get me wrong, The Lion King was okay. It's just that when it comes to making like these realistic animals, you kind of lack the emotion you get when you speak, when you're interacting or conversing with another person. And with this, they did a wonderful job of that. These the animated animals or whatnot, the animal the talking animal characters, you can see them emote. You can you can see them react. You can they actually did a really good job. Javier Bardem as King Triton, I love him in anything he does, and I like that he wasn't just Javier Bardem playing King Triton. He was King Triton, a concerned father, a man who's lost his wife to humankind. So he's this overprotective figure, and no one really overdoes anything in this movie. Aquafina, and some people they say what they want about her. I personally love Aquafina as an actress, as an entertainer. I've been messing with her since she dropped My Vagina. Dope. But I do feel I do feel like she did an amazing job as Scuttle. That the bird's name, the bird, which originally was a male's part. And when it comes to like gender swapping or race swapping, as long as it's not integral to that character, and like they're not making it like just about that. I don't give a shit. Like Scuttle being a female didn't take me out the movie. It didn't take anything away from the character. Like I said, for most people who are upset about that, y'all probably can't even tell me the original voice actor of Scuttle from the 1989 movie without Googling it. So hush. And there's a part in the movie where they add one of the newer songs, and I can tell just off bat, before I looked it up and even like watched the end credits for it, the way that she was rapping or whatnot on the track. I'm like, Lin Manuel had to have some type of hand in that. And when I looked at the credits, then I looked it up and seen like some of the music credits. Lin Manuel Miranda did that. And I'm not gonna front. Scuttlebug is one of my favorite songs from the soundtrack. Yes, I did download the soundtrack. Alan Menken is one of the greatest composers of all time, and of course, I'm so glad that he was still a part of this. But when it came to what the cast brought to the movie, they brought more to the movie than I expected. Like I didn't go in like with high expectations, but I also didn't go in with low expectations because I'm familiar with the work that these other actors and artists have done. David Dix has done Hamilton. He has done Spotlighting. He's done Wonder with uh was it Jacob or Tim Tremblay or whatnot who plays Flounder. And I love Flounder. He wasn't annoying. He wasn't pretentious. I just wish we got to see more of him. David Diggs as Sebastian will have you cracking up. Like I said, Sebastian is that comedic character that you don't you're not even like you get his annoyance for the most part, and I did like that. I did like this retelling. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, as Auntie Ursula, got a little more interpersonal in this movie. I really liked her. She wasn't just Melissa McCarthy playing Ursula. She was Ursula, and she can tell this movie from production to even I said the CGI was actually pretty fucking decent. I mean, in some parts it was like, because it's hard to do that whole mermaid CGI bit or whatnot. But for the most part, the CGI was fantastic. The movie was amazing. Everybody from the director to the composers, stage crew, whatnot, the actors, you can tell there was care in this movie. Like, I don't know if they sat down and had a meeting about, you know, other Disney projects and how they could do better, but something worked. Like something side. There's I thoroughly enjoy this. And they did add an extra 50 minutes to the movie, and I did feel that at some point in time, but I wasn't completely taken out the movie. When you're exploring under the sea with Ariel, the colors, the visuals, the sea life, the way she interacts not only with the sea life, but her chemistry with the other actors on screen, especially with the young man that played Prince Eric. Honestly, and I said for the story to work, you would have to have believable chemistry between the two love interests of the film, and they did a wonderful job of that. Like I said, some people will say that, oh, they ruined Little Mermaid or this, that, and the third. Those people are either grifters, racist, or they are on the culture slants. Like Lauren Chin, who's a social commentator or whatnot, she was like, "Oh, they added a rap in here, and it ruined the movie." You mean the one rap that that was performed? And that's the only one on the soundtrack. The one rap that was written by a Hispanic man that was performed by a black and Asian woman. You act like that. I don't know. For some reason, people act like the race of Ariel mattered so bad, so bad, and it didn't. Like King Triton had a bunch of daughters from all over the sea. Granted, it was by one mother, but that's to represent like these are all the parts of the world that the sea touches. I don't fucking get it. This girl is a fish. She's half fish. You really think the color of her skin tone matters when you see her? And when you really look back at the movie, it took place on an island where there was a lot of Caribbean folk, a lot of brown and black folk. When you go back and you're looking at how she's interacting on land on the island that Prince Eric is supposed to rule, it's mostly colored folk. Like what are you mad about? What are you mad? There was one comment and it said, "Why do all black lead movies have to have a rap in them?" Well, they don't always have raps in them. Uh, Princess and the Frog is actually a really good, decent one. That's nothing but melodic bops and actual singing. But as I digress, it's just that people want to hate on stuff at surface value and forget that sometimes you just want to watch a good movie or a good film. And this movie was actually really good. Like, it was really good. And that's the thing. I honestly can say that movie, that movie made me smile. It made me giggle. I sang along with it. There are some parts where it had me on the edge of my seat or whatnot. And I said they didn't change it too much. I said they just fleshed out Eric, added like 50 more minutes into the movie, and that's fine. But I said the movie was actually I enjoyed myself, and I didn't see it with any kids. I didn't see it with my son. I seen it with a couple of adult friends of mine, females and whatnot, and we enjoyed it. And I'm gonna go see it again. I said I'd listen to the soundtrack every day. I say, Haley, um, I'm pretty sure you'll never watch this. You probably will probably never meet. You probably will never acknowledge my existence. Haley Bailey, you are a treasure. You are a gift to the world, and I can't wait for you to see you in the color purple. But that's my review of The Little Mermaid. Like, subscribe, catch me on Instagram at comedian underscore Shaw, Facebook Shaw Mercurial, Spotify Shaw Mercurial, and catch my podcast. You're welcome with Shaquem Green. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Peace.
Trust me, if I woke up white, I'd definitely be 1 in 3 against suicide. That's a joke, I hope. Oh no, I went to a therapist, I'm fine. Like, my black life matters to me now. Like, no, it starts with your fucking self. Like, I hate when fat black people like, black lives matter. Tell your diet, not sure. I've seen soul food. They chopped this bitch leg off and they kept eating the same food. You're either going to die from diabetes or Dylan Ruther's going to shoot up your church. Like, that shit is... They sent this nigga to Burger King. I can't even get a text back or a dick suck, bro. Like... Being white is lit. I'm about to say, fuck these niggas and get a fucking value meal. Like... I'm just saying, fuck them.